Amigos, pues otra cosa que se ha hecho viral es que ahora los estadounidenses también, no solo en coches, no solo en la calle, también viven en algo que le llaman storage units. Que bueno, el nombre lo dice por sí mismo, son básicamente bodegas donde puedes guardar cosas si en tu casa no tienes espacio, porque bueno, también hay gente que vive en departamentos y lugares chiquitos, no todos tienen casas como en Los Simpsons, que son grandes, son de clase media, pero son grandes finalmente, ¿no? Y bueno, el otro día les hacía un video de cómo Elon Musk ahora vale $1 trillion, o en español, $1 billón. Y de verdad es curioso cómo en el peor momento de Estados Unidos, que la gente tiene que vivir en storage units, en bodegas, en sus coches, ahora Elon Musk tiene más del doble del dinero que los que le siguen en la lista. Es increíble, amigos.
All right, you guys have been asking for a room tour at my storage place living situation. So here we go. Big reveal. There's the bed. Super comfy, straight on the ground with a pillow and the recording setup. And this is where the magic goes down. It's like, I don't even know, 8 by 8. I love it.
I'm currently living in a storage unit. My landlords decided not to renew my lease this year, and the apartment that I applied for won't be open until October 1st. I have family here in town, but here I am, living in the storage unit. And the bad part is your access gets denied after 10 p.m., so if I am to leave right now, I wouldn't be able to get back in. Here's my setup. I got my bed right here. Don't come at me. I'm literally living in a storage unit, bro. And how I lock myself in here to ensure that no one comes in here is I use this rope and I put it under my TV stand. And that makes it to where this door can't open from the outside. I've also dummy locked it to where it looks like someone isn't in here and they've got their shit locked up. So when the employees walk by, they don't know I'm in here. Slowly getting back to my feet.
Moving into our new space. You can pretty much live in here during the day, and then at nighttime, you can't sleep in here, so we gotta go back to the tent. Storage is right next to our tent. It's amazing.
And it's climate controlled. Huge. It's absolutely huge. And we're finally gonna have a space to set up all our nice stuff.
I'm tired. You ready to get this left?
My tomato.
A little bit.
I haven't wanted ice water so bad in my life.
Taking all of this stuff out of our tent, put it into this new storage.
This is just gonna be a living space. There's not even gonna be storage. Barely. Tell me how we got this fucking weird wall. I'm putting stuff on it. I'm gonna make it my little artwork.
We can have a camera in here set up.
Holy shit. And I like that this is open.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Put up like Christmas lights.
So me and my girl tested, we trying to figure out if this is like good enough to be sneaky and hide and stuff. We're trying to hide this shit.
I live in my car. I've lived in my car for 9.5 months now, and winter is coming, so how do I keep myself warm during the winter? First thing is that I have a -20-degree sleeping bag, which keeps me warm even on some of the coldest nights. Also, when I originally bought my car, I bought it knowing that I would be moving into it. So when I was looking, I was either looking for a Prius or a Tesla. The reason I was looking at a Tesla is because it has camping mode, which I don't know too much about, but I've seen a lot of other car life creators who live in Teslas, and so that was really intriguing to me, but I decided in the end that it just wasn't an affordable option for me. I ended up settling on a Prius, and the Prius is great because it's a hybrid, and this makes it so I can run my heat a little bit longer without having to spend an enormous amount of money.
Y bueno, como no, si todo sube de precio, por ejemplo, aquí tengo esta nota de Yahoo Finance que nos da un ejemplo, un caso preciso de que un dueño, un landlord ahí que renta su casa, pues tuvo un problema de vandalismo de $100,000 y que su seguro pues no se lo cubre, porque ahora hay una nueva ley que pues no ayuda o no beneficia su caso, ¿no? Entonces hay tantos problemas rentando casa, teniendo casa, property tax, los insurance que ya ahora ni te cubren cosas comprobables, que cómo no la gente va a acabar viviendo así, mientras Elon Musk tiene $1 trillion en su propiedad, o que es pura especulación, es puro casino, ¿no? Pero bueno, eso es lo que vale ese hombre. Otra cosa que ejemplifica aún más por qué la gente tiene que vivir en bodegas, en coches o en la calle, es por ejemplo aquí esta nota que nos dice que, bueno, creo que ya todos sabemos que la Fed bajó sus tasas de interés, lo cual se supone que es buena noticia, pero en realidad es una payasada, pero bueno. Pero eso no termina beneficiando a las hipotecas, a los préstamos que te dan los bancos para comprar tu casa, porque pues bueno, la demanda baja, ¿no? O sea, sigue baja. Dice que los mortgages de 30 años, porque igual si no lo sabían, los mortgages o las hipotecas más comunes en Estados Unidos son las de 30 años, y ya están proponiendo una de 50 por si no sabían, luego hacemos un video de eso. Pues aquí nos dice la nota que no benefició en nada, ¿no? Entonces sigue siendo un problema obtener tu préstamo y poder pagar tus préstamos para tu casa. Es más, dice la nota que el interés subió. ¿Y por qué? ¿Por qué subió? Bueno, pues aquí nos dice la nota que porque normalmente las tasas de interés del mortgage o de las hipotecas siguen el desempeño que dé los bonos del tesoro a 10 años y no tiene una relación directa con lo que haga la Fed, ¿no? Y nos dice que por lo tanto mensualmente una tarifa más alta porque subieron los desempeños, lo que te da un bono del tesoro. Y pues bueno, esto es de esperarse porque los bonos del tesoro, pues si Estados Unidos quiere que les den dinero, pues tiene que dar un buen rendimiento a sus inversionistas, a sus acreedores. Si no diera buen interés el prestarle dinero a Estados Unidos, pues ¿por qué le prestarías, no? Entonces se siguen manteniendo ahí en un rango, o subiéndolo incluso en un rango interesante, ¿no?
I always try to tell people you will never get rich working a 9-to-5 job because the rich never got rich that way. The rich are telling you guys, go work a 9-to-5 job and you will be like us. But they really got their money from generational wealth.
More and more people are really struggling here in the United States to put a roof over their head. A lot of people are not able to qualify for apartments or purchase homes. They're having a hard time. They are becoming homeless. And a lot of people are even finding more creative ways to try and keep a roof over their head.
So this is what homeless people do. They try to live in here. We gotta kick their asses out.
This tenant has been evicted from their storage unit because they were trying to live inside their storage unit, which is why all their stuff is here and they're packing it up right now. The way we figured out that this tenant was living on site is there's a few different things that we watch. When we check keypads, we see who is staying after access hours, and this tenant had done this multiple times. We also noticed that this tenant was leaving items outside of the unit and in the exterior hallway that were there. Soon after these things happened, we saw on the keypads and also the cameras that the tenant had stayed overnight, entered the facility at 8:08 p.m. and exited the facility the next day at 2:08 p.m. I sent out a warning to the tenant and I said, hey, we don't allow living on the property at all. That's against your lease. I quoted the lease in there. This is a one-time warning. We're not going to kick you out this time, but we will terminate your lease if this happens again. Unfortunately, the tenant had done a similar thing again, staying on the property a majority of the day and way after access hours, and was letting one of her friends doing things on the property that they shouldn't. So I reached out to the tenant again and I said, all right, everything's terminated. You need to come and pick up your belongings. I'm gonna have to meet you there on site. We're denying your access and we'll give you a 2-hour window to pick up your items. About a week later, last night, the fees were paid. This morning, the tenant called me, said that they rented a U-Haul and could meet me on site to retrieve all their belongings. Here's what it looks like in the storage unit. You can see a bed right there, all set up with bedding, and a sketchy looking loft that's built up with all the items on top. You can see a TV that's set up right there underneath this loft structure. There's candles on this table, which is a potential fire hazard. Coats are hung up over the door and multiple items on display.
Living in a storage unit. I used to work at a storage facility, being that student loans are going to have to probably be repaid soon, and a 50-50 if you get that waiver of $10,000 to $20,000, your living situation may change drastically. That is why I am doing this. Step 1, be a ghost. Don't be seen by employees or tenants, or be seen as little as possible. Go in before or after the employee gets there, outside of normal business hours so they don't see you. If you are there during normal business hours, don't be seen. Make it look like you're not there. If you're in hot or cold climate, you're going to want to be temperature controlled. Temperature controlled units typically stay between 55 and 80 degrees, meaning that you can stay there throughout the winter and summer and not die, which is very, very good. Don't get an outside unit if you're in a crappy climate. Step 3, electricity. Find a unit that has electricity. Some do, some don't.
Hi. How are you guys? Working off of a Get Marty tip, we found the Ashbaugh family living here in the storage unit. Actually, they have 2 units, and they've been living here for a while, for months. You've been here a month?
At least. Well, actually, it's coming up on 2 months.
You're a strong woman. Jacqueline Ashbaugh tells me it's been 2 months since her husband and 3 kids moved into this storage unit. No electricity, no running water, nothing but a space and metal doors, and they sleep here. What do you do at night? Just leave this open?
No, we come in and we close it.
Doesn't it get hot?
So I knew these 2 girls that had recently become unhoused. They had decided to stay in their storage unit, and they were not on substances. They did not have schizophrenia or serious mental illness. A lot of people think that all homeless people do, but they just came on hard times. So one of the girls had a storage unit, so they decided to stay the night in the storage unit, and some prick that had a unit across from them ended up calling the police. They got arrested for criminal trespassing. The girl whose unit it was got an immediate eviction. They threw out everything, all of her stuff, everything she owned was in that storage unit. They threw everything out, did not give her deposit back that she paid for that storage unit. They were not bothering anybody. They just wanted to stay the night in there because they were afraid to sleep out on the street. It was awful. They say that there's like 775,000 unhoused people, but I would guarantee you that it's almost double that, because that number does not include like families that live with other families, or people that live in sheds in other people's backyard, or just crash on other people's couches. And so we'll say 1 million, even though we know it's higher than that. But that is 1 in every 340 people that is homeless in the United States. That is crazy.
Entonces, amigos, pues así las cosas, la gente viviendo en storage units o en bodegas, como quieran llamarlo, la gente viviendo en la calle, la gente viviendo en donde sea. Pero bueno, amigos, déjenme su comentario si ustedes han visto esto. Yo personalmente no lo he visto. Cuídense mucho, las cosas se vienen más duras para 2026, lo estamos viendo, no van a mejorar, lamento decírselos, a pesar de lo que aquí muchos de mis amados haters digan, que me invento cosas, que escojo 2, 3 casos para hacer mi punto valer. Diría Jesús, del que les hablaba en el otro video, que el que tenga oídos que escuche y el que tenga ojos que vea. Ahí lo voy a dejar. Cuídense mucho, suscríbanse, déjenme su comentario, cómo ven esta situación y pues nada, nos vemos para la otra. Bye.